This is why for a long time I didn't like sharing what I did for a living with people. So like I would go to events or parties or such, and people would ask me, so what do you do for a living? I would always just say consulting. Now I do it now, but for completely different reasons. But back then, before I owned what I did for a living, I didn't want to open up that conversation because I didn't know how the person was going to deal with it. And so if I would tell people, oh yeah, this is what I do for a living, some people would immediately get away from me because they thought I was like the devil incarnate. Some people would become intrigued and they wanted to have a conversation about that, which is fine. I don't mind that. Some people wanted a reading for free, or they wanted to get a reading, which is fine. But if I'm off the clock, or if that's my designated time where I'm not reading, for me to just have to force myself to accommodate people, this is like what happened earlier with this lady. People have this idea that just because I'm available, you have a right to get something from me. And I make myself available at specific times of the week to do it for free. This is my boundary. So I get private messages, text messages, I get emails all the time from people who do not want to go into the live or don't want to just book a session with me, but they want to do it all the time. I can't operate that way. I will go crazy and I will lose my mind if I was always on and always doing this. So I have to set boundaries for people. Some people don't understand that I have boundaries. Some people don't understand that, sorry, but this is it, and people want, if they don't get a chance to read me, or if I don't help them, they feel the need to take it out on me, or they feel the need that to want to come at me for it, which, okay, whatever. Like if there's a restaurant and they're giving out 50 chicken sandwiches for free, and the last sandwich just went, you're not going to go up to the person who was serving the sandwiches and completely go off on them, or try to act aggressively or violent towards them, because that means something's wrong with you. If you are going to react that way, you're the problem. The lack of those sandwiches is not the problem. You show yourself in full colors when you behave that way. And so this is why you have to hold people accountable. And something that I do that people don't understand sometimes is whenever I set boundaries, those boundaries serve their purpose, because if a person has a problem with the boundary that I put up and they try to break through the boundary, immediately my red flags come up and I acknowledge that this person is not someone that I want to deal with. Because at that point, that shows me that they have a lack of respect for my boundaries, that they feel so entitled that I should serve them as if I'm their servant, because they feel entitled to that, or they feel that they're owed and I'm the only person in the world that can make that up to them. And I'm like, no, I don't owe you anything. I offer what I offer, take it or leave it. If you're not there in time, you don't get it. You don't get it. That's the end of the story. If I run out of chicken sandwiches, don't come for me, because you're gonna get it. So people have to understand that. And so sometimes putting boundaries up for people is very important. I actually would implore and suggest that you all do these things. Y'all put boundaries up, because with people who are not going to be healthy for you, if they don't respect your boundaries and they don't accept what you have to offer, and they feel that you owe them more than what you've offered, at that point, that's not a healthy person that you want to keep in your life, because they're only going to take and take and take regardless of what they're going through. Everybody's going, and I'm not saying everybody who operates that way is evil or bad or wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is those people do not understand what they are doing and how they are definitely disrespecting or dishonoring you as a being. And so they will continue to push and push and push because they just feel like it's their place. It isn't, and I won't allow it. And so you have to put those boundaries up, and that will show you who you allow into your circle and who you don't. There's a reason why sometimes I make certain comments or I say certain things, because I know by me saying that it's going to trigger people. Some people will be triggered in a way where they will be like, oh my God, I don't like him, this, that, whatever. They'll come up with whatever excuse not to like me. That's fine. They don't have to like me. But what happens is they leave. They go away. Because if something like that is going to trigger them, then they don't see who I really am. They're not seeing who I am. They're not seeing what my work is about. They're not seeing what I'm here to do. They only see their own issue based on that trigger, based on that topic, based on whatever. So, for example, if I'm having a conversation about sex and I'm having a spiritual conversation that involves sex, there are people who are going to tune in who immediately thinking that I'm a psychic and I'm a medium. Oh, he's supposed to be like this priestly person, or he's supposed to be this like super highly spiritual, never pisses anybody off, is so likable, everybody will love this person. Like, there's these expectations and these ideas about that. And so the minute that I say a specific thing that is a trigger, or I bring up something that can be an easy trigger, they will react to that and they will go away. And that's fine. That's the reason why I do it, because I'm never going to do anything that is going to be just, I'm never going to do anything to hurt people intentionally. Like, I'm not out to hurt people or to cause people to suffer. I will call people out because they need to be called out, but I don't go out in the world trying to make people suffer. If anything, the opposite. And it pisses me off when people claim to do the opposite and don't, and just add more suffering to this world. Secondly, I need to know who's going to be able to handle the way that I teach and the way that I guide, because I don't have the energy to coddle every single person because they don't want to be dealing with this, or they don't want to be dealing with that, or whatever. I don't have time to coddle people. I only have time to teach people, to educate others in what I understand, give them my perspective, and then to offer them what I have to offer in the way I am offering it. That's it. And if they can't get past some of those triggers, then I don't need the person in my circle. And so it will push these people who I am not a good fit for out of my circle. And they won't stick with me. They won't stick around. So you'll have people who follow me, and they'll follow me for several weeks, or they'll follow and watch my lives or whatever. I haven't read for them, and they will blow up, and they will completely try to come after me for it. And I immediately recognize of, like, there we go, there's another one, because those are actual tests that I put into place so that people are going to show their true colors if they have to deal with triggers. And people show their true colors. It doesn't take a lot for people to show their true self and their true colors. So that's why I do that. But if people can't, deal with the trigger, that's understandable. I get triggered too. I get triggered too. But for me, it's like I try to understand. Sometimes if I get triggered, why am I getting triggered? Why is that triggering me? And so sometimes I trigger because it taps into something from my past, and I need to understand, okay, is this something that I need to hold on to? Is this something that I need to maintain within myself? Because it's taking up space, it's taking up energy. Do I need to really carry this trigger or this thing that's triggering me in my energy? No, I really don't. Then why even give it attention? Why even try it? And so I learn a lot from just understanding myself and how I interact with these different triggers from others as well. So it's an interesting opportunity for us to learn about ourselves. And this is what we're here to do. We're here to live a human life, to have a human experience, and to know ourselves through the interaction with each other. Relationships are meant to do that. That's what relationships are about. We learn about ourselves through each other and our engagement with each other.